Most people think learning is about time. They think if they study longer, they'll learn faster. That's a lie. Samurai didn't train all day reading scrolls. They trained with focus, precision, and purpose. One strike, one movement, repeated until it became automatic. Today, people are distracted. They open 10 tabs, watch videos, save notes, and feel productive, but nothing sticks. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is your method. Samurai followed a different system. They removed distractions. They trained one skill at a time. They repeated the hardest part until their body and mind reacted without thinking. That's how real learning works. When you train like a samurai, you stop wasting energy. You stop guessing. You stop starting over. Instead, your brain locks in patterns faster. Mistakes become feedback, not failure. Progress becomes visible, daily. This video isn't about motivation. It's about a system that helped warriors survive life and death moments. And the same system can help you learn anything faster today. If you feel stuck, slow, or overwhelmed, you're not broken.
A samurai didn't wait for motivation. They trained because it was their duty. That's the first mindset shift. Discipline beats mood. If you only learn when you feel inspired, your progress will be slow and inconsistent. But if you learn on a schedule, even for a short time every day, you become unstoppable. Motivation is like weather. Discipline is like a steering wheel. Second, samurai focus on one target at a time. In a real fight, you don't look at 10 enemies and panic. You lock on to the next move and execute. Learning works the same way. Most people fail because they try to learn everything. Watch 10 videos, start 5 courses, save 50 tabs. Samurai mindset says, choose one skill, one sub-skill, one drill, one blade, one mission. This makes your brain sharper and your progress faster. Third, samurai had calm intensity. Calm doesn't mean lazy. It means controlled. When you're stressed, distracted, or rushing, you make mistakes and you learn slower. Calm intensity means relaxed body, clear mind, full attention. You don't try hard in a messy way. You train with purpose. You breathe, you reset, and you repeat. So the samurai mindset is simple. Show up daily, train one thing, stay calm and consistent. That's how you start learning faster than everyone else.
The samurai rule that turns learning from chaos into conquest. Most people don't struggle because they lack talent. They struggle because they're fighting 10 battles at once. They open new tabs, start new courses, jump between skills, and call it research. But a samurai would never enter a fight carrying 5 swords and switching weapons every minute. They choose one blade, commit to one battle, and train until that blade feels like part of their body. That's how you learn faster. You stop scattering your attention and start concentrating your power. Choose one skill for the next 7 to 14 days, just one, and then go even narrower. Choose one sub-skill inside it, the one that moves everything forward. If it's editing, lock on to cuts and pacing. If it's speaking, lock on to pronunciation and clarity. If it's coding, lock on to one problem type and repeat it until it becomes automatic. Then give your training a mission, because a mission creates pressure, and pressure creates progress. Write one sentence, I'm learning blank so I can blank. Not so I can be better, but something real. So I can publish 3 shorts a day. So I can speak confidently on camera. So I can land freelance work. Now protect that mission with a weapon most learners never use, a not now list. Write down the distractions you will not chase this week. New tools, random tutorials, unrelated topics. Because distraction doesn't arrive as an enemy, it arrives as a shiny opportunity. Your job is to say, not now. When you train this way, your brain finally locks in, your confidence rises, your reps multiply, and your progress becomes visible fast. One skill, one mission, no distractions. That's the samurai path, and it's how you make your learning scary effective.
Your learning speed is not only about your brain, it's about your battlefield. A samurai doesn't fight in a messy, noisy place with distractions pulling his eyes everywhere. He controls the space, because focus is a weapon, and weapons need a clean grip. Most people try to learn while their phone is buzzing, tabs are open, notifications are screaming, and their mind is half in the lesson and half in the world. That's not learning. That's leaking attention. And when attention leaks, progress becomes slow, frustrating, and forgettable. So the samurai method is simple. Before you train, you prepare the environment. Remove the noise first, so your brain can go deep without fighting distractions every 30 seconds. Put the phone away or on airplane mode. Close every tab except the one you need. Clean your desk. Use headphones if you must. Then create a small ritual that tells your brain it's time to train. Same place, same time, same setup. Like entering a dojo. Even a 30-second ritual works. Sit straight, take one deep breath, open your notes, start the timer. This repetition trains your mind to switch into focus faster and faster until concentration becomes automatic. Here's why it's powerful. Your environment can either steal your willpower or save it. If your space is full of distractions, you waste energy resisting them. If your space is clean, your energy goes into practice. That's why disciplined people look naturally focused. They're not stronger than you. They simply remove the things that drain them. In samurai terms, win the room, then win the skill. When you control your environment, you control your attention. And when you control your attention, you learn faster than most people ever will.
Train like a dojo. Deliberate practice means you stop studying and start training. Most people learn the lazy way. They watch, they take notes, they feel productive, but their skill doesn't improve. A samurai wouldn't become deadly by watching someone swing a sword. He becomes dangerous by doing reps, correcting errors, and repeating the right movement until it's automatic. That's deliberate practice. Small, focused drills that target your weakness, not random practice that feels comfortable. Here's how to apply it to any skill. Break the skill into drills, like kata. Don't practice editing. Practice cuts, pacing, sound timing. Don't practice speaking. Practice pronunciation, pauses, tone. Train the hardest part first. Go straight to what you avoid. That's where the growth is. Short rounds, high focus. 10 to 25 minutes of real training beats 2 hours of distracted learning. Slow, clean, fast. First you do it correctly. Then you increase speed. Speed without control makes bad habits. A simple line you can say in the video. If it doesn't feel slightly uncomfortable, you're not training. You're just repeating what you already know. That's the dojo mindset. Practice with purpose, not with hope. Each session has one target, one drill, and one improvement. That's how you level up fast, because you're not collecting information. You're building ability. Repetition with precision is the samurai's secret to turning a skill into second nature. Kata means a fixed form, a repeatable pattern you practice again and again. It looks simple on the outside, but it builds something powerful inside, automatic skill. Most people practice in a messy way. Different exercises every day, random tutorials, no structure. That feels exciting, but it's slow, because your brain keeps restarting from zero. Samurai training is the opposite. They repeat the same core movements until the body does them without thinking. That's how you get speed. Here's the rule. Don't repeat mindlessly. Repeat perfectly. Each repetition is a chance to sharpen technique. If you repeat a mistake 100 times, you don't get better. You just become consistent at being wrong. But if you repeat the right form with attention, your brain wires it fast. How you apply kata to anything. Pick one core drill, your form, that gives maximum progress. Repeat it daily for 7 to 14 days. Track one detail to improve each session, one small upgrade. Examples. Editing.
Practice cutting a 30-second clip with perfect pacing every day. Speaking. Repeat the same 10 lines, focusing on clarity and pauses. Coding. Solve the same type of problem repeatedly until the pattern becomes obvious. Power line for your video. Kata makes skill automatic. Automatic makes you fast. When kata is done right, you stop thinking your way through the basics. You execute smoothly, and then your brain has space to learn advanced stuff. That's the samurai advantage. Structure creates mastery.
Immediate feedback, the secret weapon, is what turns practice into rapid improvement. A samurai doesn't swing a blade and hope it was right. He watches the result, corrects instantly, and repeats with a sharper form. That's the difference between people who improve fast and people who stay average. Fast learners don't just practice, they practice with a mirror. Most people train in the dark. They do a skill, feel busy, and move on. But if you don't know what's wrong, you can't fix it. And if you can't fix it, you repeat the same mistakes for months. Feedback ends that cycle. It gives your brain a clear signal. This is correct. This is not. That signal is rocket fuel for learning. How to use immediate feedback in real life. Record yourself, voice, screen, camera, and review for 2 minutes. Compare to a gold standard, a pro example, a template, a top creator. Get outside eyes, coach, friend, community, even if it's once a week. Use one correction rule. Don't try to fix 10 things. Fix one thing per session. Power line for your video. Practice without feedback is guessing. Feedback turns guessing into growth. This is why feedback feels uncomfortable, because it exposes mistakes. But that discomfort is the doorway to mastery. Samurai didn't fear correction, they hunted it. The faster you get feedback, the faster you adapt. And the faster you adapt, the faster you win. So the samurai method is simple. Do the rep, check the result, correct immediately, repeat. That loop is how you upgrade a skill at a speed most people never experience.
Stress training, controlled difficulty, is where your skill becomes real. Samurai didn't only train in perfect conditions, they trained under pressure, because pressure exposes weakness. Most people practice when everything is easy. Plenty of time, no stakes, no challenge. That feels good, but it creates a fragile skill that breaks the moment you're tired, nervous, or rushed. Controlled difficulty fixes that. It means you intentionally make practice slightly harder than comfort, so your brain adapts faster and your ability becomes strong in real situations. Here's the key. Stress, but controlled, not chaos. You don't overwhelm yourself. You push just enough to grow. Ways to do stress training. Time pressure. Do the same task with a timer. 5 minutes, then 4, then 3. Hard mode. Remove a crutch. Fewer notes, fewer edits, no pausing. Performance reps. Do one take as if it's live, no restarting. Distraction resistance. Short sessions where you practice staying locked in. Power line for your video. Comfort makes you consistent. Pressure makes you capable. If you want to learn 10x faster, you need reps that force your brain to sharpen. That's what samurai training was. Calm focus, then controlled pressure, again and again, until skill stays stable even when your heart is racing. When you train under controlled difficulty, your learning doesn't just improve, it becomes battle-ready.
After-action review, samurai debrief, is what separates people who practice from people who master. A samurai doesn't finish training and just walk away. He reviews the fight in his mind. What worked, what failed, what must change next time. That review is where learning gets locked in. Without it, you repeat the same mistakes tomorrow. With it, every session becomes smarter than the last. Most people end practice when they're tired. Samurai end practice with clarity. Because progress isn't only made during the rep, it's made when you understand why the rep went well or badly. Here's the simple samurai debrief you can do in 60-90 seconds. This is the powerful part because it's so easy. What worked today? One thing. What was my biggest mistake? One thing. What will I do differently tomorrow? one action. That's it. 3 lines. But those 3 lines upgrade your brain every day. Power lines for your video. The lesson you don't review becomes the mistake you repeat. Reflection turns practice into precision. Why works? Your brain learns by making connections. When you name the mistake and choose one correction, your next session starts with direction instead of confusion. You stop relying on motivation and start building a system. And over a week, those tiny corrections stack like bricks until your skill level jumps. If you want to make it even more samurai, tell viewers to keep a small dojo journal. No long writing, just those 3 lines after every session. Because when your training has a debrief, you're not just doing reps, you're evolving after every rep.
The 10x Samurai Learning Routine, simple, copyable system, is where you turn all the ideas into a daily weapon. Because the truth is, most people already know what they should do. They just don't do it consistently. A samurai wins by routine. Same time, same method, same discipline. Not because it's exciting, because it works. Your viewers need a plan they can copy today without confusion. This routine is that plan. Here's the samurai routine, about 35 to 40 minutes, that can transform any skill. Start with 2 minutes of calm control. Sit straight, 1 deep breath, and state the mission for today in 1 line. Today I train blank. This is how you enter the dojo mentally. Then do 20 minutes of kata, 1 drill repeated with precision. No multitasking, no switching. This is the core skill building phase. After that, do 10 minutes of application. Use the skill in a real mini output. Record a short clip, write a paragraph, solve a problem, edit a short sequence. This is where learning becomes usable. Then do 3 minutes of feedback. Review what you did and spot the biggest mistake or weakness. Fix 1 thing only, because 1 focused fix beats 10 scattered fixes. Finally, end with 2 minutes of after-action review. Write 3 lines: what worked, what failed, what changes tomorrow. Power lines for your video. You don't need more time. You need a better drill. Consistency is the samurai superpower. Small daily training beats giant random effort. The magic of this routine is that it removes decision fatigue. You don't wake up wondering what to do. You just train. And when training becomes automatic, progress becomes inevitable. This is why it feels 10x, not because you become a genius overnight, but because you stop wasting time, stop switching, and start stacking focused reps every single day.
Common mistakes. Why most people learn slow is where you call people out, in a helpful way, and make your method feel even more valuable. Because the biggest enemy isn't lack of talent, it's wasted effort. Most learners spend hours but get little progress because they're doing the wrong kind of work. Mistake 1. Consumption over training. Watching videos, saving notes, bookmarking courses feels productive, but it doesn't build skill. Skill comes from reps. Mistake 2. Switching too often. Today they learn one thing, tomorrow something else, so the brain never locks in and nothing becomes automatic. Mistake 3. Practicing what's easy. People repeat what they already know because it feels good, but growth lives in the uncomfortable part, the weakness. Mistake 4. No feedback loop. If you don't check your output, you'll repeat the same errors for weeks and call it practice. Mistake 5. No structure. Random learning creates random results. The samurai method fixes all of this with one clear path. One skill, one drill, feedback, and repetition. Powerline, you can say. If you keep making the same mistakes, you're not learning. You're rehearsing failure. And then flip it positive. Fix these 5 mistakes, and your progress will feel unfair.
Call to action, challenge them, is where you turn inspiration into action. A samurai lesson is useless if it stays in the head. It must become a habit. So your ending should feel like a final command, not a soft goodbye. Tell them the truth. Most people will watch the video, feel motivated for 5 minutes, and then go back to the same messy learning. But the person who follows a simple challenge will separate themselves fast. So give them a clear mission they can start today. Pick one skill, choose one drill, train for 7 days, and report back. Make it specific, measurable, and easy to follow, because clarity creates commitment. Here's the powerful close idea. For the next 7 days, you're not a learner, you're a trainee. Then lay out the challenge in one breath. Choose one skill. Choose one sub-skill drill. Do the samurai routine daily, even 20 to 40 minutes. Use feedback plus after-action review. Don't switch, don't scroll, don't chase new tools. Then end with a strong community hook that boosts engagement. Comment your skill plus day 1. I'll pin the strongest missions. Or type dojo if you're doing the 7-day challenge. Power lines for the final seconds. Discipline beats motivation, every time. 1 week of focused training can beat months of random effort. Enter the dojo, train, repeat, become dangerous. This ending makes your video memorable, increases comments, and gives viewers a reason to come back, because now they're not just watching content, they're joining a challenge.